You've been paying into Social Security every paycheck of your working life, 6.2% of every dollar you earn, matched by your employer, flowing into a system you don't get to opt out of. The average retirement check this month is $2,076. The maximum is north of $5,000, and in 2026, the rules around Social Security are quietly shifting in ways that most people haven't caught up to. The full retirement age finishes its 42-year climb to 67 this November. A new law just handed back monthly checks to almost 3 million people who've been penalized for decades. And the trust fund that pays your benefits has a new depletion date. Today, the language of the most misunderstood paycheck in America. Social Security is going to be one of the largest financial assets you ever own. Not your house, not your 401k for most people. Social Security. So it's worth understanding how it actually works, what you put in, what you get back, and the choices that move the number by tens of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Social Security is a payroll tax, specifically the FICA tax, the Federal Insurance Contributions Act. 12.4% of your wages goes to Social Security, 6.2% from you, 6.2% from your employer. If you're self-employed, you pay both halves. That's the self-employment tax. But there's a ceiling. In 2026, you only pay Social Security tax on the first $184,500 of wages. Earn more than that, and the dollars above the cap don't get taxed for Social Security at all. That's the wage base, and it adjusts every year with average earnings. Here's the key thing most people get wrong. The money you pay in is not sitting in an account with your name on it. Today's workers fund today's retirees. It is, by design, a transfer program, a generational handshake. The dollars you paid in last week are already going out the door as someone's retirement check. That's why the funding question matters, and we'll get to that. Your Social Security retirement benefit is based on three things: how long you worked, how much you earned, and when you claim. The Social Security Administration looks at your highest 35 years of earnings, indexed for wage inflation, and averages them. That number is called your AIME, Average Indexed Monthly Earnings. They run that average through a formula with bend points to produce your PIA, your primary insurance amount. That's the monthly benefit you'd get if you claimed at exactly your full retirement age. A few things to know. 1. If you have fewer than 35 years of earnings, the missing years go in as zeros, and zeros drag the average down. Working a 35th year, even part-time, can replace a zero and bump your benefit. 2. The formula is progressive. Lower earners get back a much higher percentage of what they paid in than higher earners. Social Security replaces about 90% of pre-retirement income for the lowest earners, and only about 27% for the highest. 3. You need 40 credits, roughly 10 years of work, to qualify for retirement benefits at all. In 2026, the average retirement benefit is $2,076 a month. The maximum, if you maxed out the wage base for 35 years and claimed at full retirement age, is $4,152. Your full retirement age, FRA, is the age at which you get 100% of your primary insurance amount. For decades, it was 65. In 1983, Congress voted to phase it up very gradually to 67. That phase-in finishes this November. Anyone born in 1960 or later, which is now everyone turning 66 this year and younger, has a full retirement age of 67, period. No more sliding scale. That's worth saying out loud because the cultural shorthand is still retire at 65. For most working Americans today, that's 3 years off. If you claim at 65, you are claiming early, and your check will be permanently reduced. Which brings us to the most important decision in the whole system. You can start your benefit as early as 62. You can wait as late as 70. The math of when you claim is not subtle. Claim at 62, 5 years before your full retirement age, and your check is permanently reduced by about 30%. Claim at full retirement age, 67, and you get 100%. Wait past FRA, and you earn delayed retirement credits, 8% per year, every year, until age 70. Past 70, the credits stop, so there's no benefit to waiting longer. Run the numbers on someone with maximum earnings claiming in 2026. Claiming at 62, $2,969 a month. At full retirement age, $4,152. At 70, $5,181. The same lifetime of work, a 75% swing in monthly income depending on a single decision. Here's how to think about it. Claiming early makes sense if you have a serious health concern or shorter than average life expectancy, because the break-even against full retirement age is in your late 70s. Waiting makes sense if you have longevity in your family, you have other assets to bridge the gap, or you're the higher earner in a couple, because your benefit also sets the survivor benefit your spouse will get if they outlive you. The single biggest mistake in all of Social Security is claiming early because the money is sitting there when you could afford to wait. The trade is permanent. 3 benefits people don't realize they qualify for. Spousal benefits. If your spouse has filed for their own benefit, you can claim a spousal benefit equal to up to 50% of their PIA, even if you never worked or worked very little. You take the higher of your own benefit or the spousal benefit, not both. Survivor benefits. When a spouse dies, the surviving spouse can step up to the deceased spouse's benefit if it's higher than their own. This is why the higher earner should consider waiting matters so much in a marriage. That bigger check protects the surviving spouse for the rest of their life. Divorce benefits. If you were married for at least 10 years, you're divorced, and you haven't remarried, you can claim on your ex-spouse's record without affecting their benefit and without telling them. Most people don't know this exists. If you're in any of those buckets, this is worth a phone call to the Social Security Administration before you claim. The SSA will not always volunteer the optimization. You have to ask. A piece of news that changed roughly 3 million benefit checks. In January 2025, Congress passed and the President signed the Social Security Fairness Act. It repealed 2 long-standing provisions called the Windfall Elimination Provision, WEP, and the Government Pension Offset, GPO. Translation: for decades, if you worked a job that didn't pay into Social Security, typically as a teacher, firefighter, police officer, or some federal employees, and you also worked enough Social Security-covered work to qualify for your own benefit or a spousal benefit, the law reduced or even zeroed out that Social Security check. The repeal undid that. The Social Security Administration has been processing back pay and recalculations through 2025 and into 2026. Average increase, about $360 a month. If you, a spouse, or a parent worked in public service and got a smaller than expected check for years, log into SWA.gov. You may be owed a higher monthly benefit and a retroactive lump sum. The most common question is Social Security going to be there when I retire? Here's the honest answer. The Social Security Trust Fund, specifically the OASI Fund, which pays retirement benefits, is now projected by the Congressional Budget Office to be depleted in 2032. That's a year earlier than the trustees' 2025 estimate. After depletion, the program does not disappear. Incoming payroll taxes still flow in. Those taxes alone would cover roughly 77% of currently scheduled benefits, meaning, without legislative action, an across-the-board cut of about 23%. The political reality: Congress has fixed Social Security shortfalls before, most famously in 1983, and almost certainly will again, because cutting benefits to current retirees is a political non-starter. The likely fixes are some combination of raising the wage base, raising the full retirement age further, adjusting the COLA formula, or raising the payroll tax rate. Some combination of those almost certainly comes before 2032. So plan as if Social Security will be there, but plan as if your benefit might be a bit smaller than today's projection. It's a foundation, not the whole floor. 3 rules of thumb. 1. If you can afford to, wait. The 8% per year delayed credit is one of the few guaranteed real returns in the entire personal finance landscape. If you live to average life expectancy, waiting almost always wins. 2. Log into s-s-a.gov today and create an account. Pull your Social Security statement. Look at your earnings history, line by line. Errors are common, and they reduce your future benefit. Fix them while you can still document the income. 3. Think of Social Security as one income stream of 3. The other 2, your retirement accounts, and any other savings are the ones you control. Build those so that the choice of when to claim Social Security stays yours. This is education, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and the right claiming strategy depends on your health, your spouse, your other assets, and your tax situation. Before you claim, talk to a fee-only fiduciary or call SSA directly. Next up, real estate versus stocks. Two paths to wealth, and the data on which one actually wins. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. Stay